What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, and welcome again to TrailBlazerz Radio. I am your host, Mr. Frederick Beaty. Thank you so very much for being here. Thank you so very much for being a part of this podcast. Thank you for being so much a part of what we have going on here. let me let me catch my breath and then start with this. First and foremost, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Number one, it is a month, it is a time for us to celebrate celebrate those who have endured and survived domestic violence. It is also a time for us to honor and reflect upon those who have not, who didn't make it. But it's also a time for us to have meaningful dialogue. Talk about what domestic violence is, talk about what domestic violence is not, but also even have more dialogue to talk and have more meaningful dialogue, meaning that now we can talk about these things in a more even light, bringing to light some ugly things about what we've endured as in what we've endured as survivors. But it's also time for us to have also, but it's also a time for us to have survivors talk about their stories. And this young lady that I have in the studio, that I'm going to bring her up in just a moment, is a survivor. First and foremost, she is a dynamic person in the realm of mental health. In the realm of mental health, she is a counselor. She's also a dynamic person in the realm of women empowerment. She is the host of the Finally I Choose Me podcast. She is a minister. She is a woman of God, and she is somebody that I consider to be my good friend. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further delay, let me bring up our guest in the first episode of Survivor Stories, Dr. Crystal L. Fenderson.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you so much for having me this
Oh,
evening. This is such an essential subject,
mhm.
especially with what we've been seeing in recent months. Um, it's
Yes.
been really heavy. Um, Honestly, I've been really frustrated by it
Mm,
because it seems to have become normalized. And out of everything that we shout out, I've heard no noise about it. And statistics show, if I can be correct, that every one out of three women die at the hands of domestic violence.
yes.
And so when you asked, I said yes, because this is just not about me, it's about thousands, millions of untold stories.
Yes. Yes, it is. And just to even put another stat out here, every 9 seconds, a woman is assaulted by her intimate partner.
Mm.
Every 9 seconds. Put that into perspective. An hour is 60 minutes. Think about what that is on average. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It is. It is.
And but I want to preface what I'm about to say with this. And I want to put this really out here for everybody to know. What the story that you're about to hear is more than likely going to be very graphic. Domestic violence is something that is not meant to be watered down. It's not meant to be. It's meant to be spoken in its entirety, in its real and ugly truth. So there are going to be some things you're going to hear, some phrases you're going to hear that could possibly offend you. I want to put this out here right now and put that disclaimer out there. If you have young children, I strongly advise that you have those young children go into another room. So and I want to put that out there now because again, what domestic violence is very graphic. It is very gruesome. It is jarring, especially for those who haven't been exposed to it, and even more so for those who have been exposed to it. So I want to put that out there right now. But Dr. C,
Yes.
I'm gonna give you the floor to talk about your story, and then we'll break it down a little bit, ask some questions, and then you know I know that you're a busy woman, and I want to make sure that you're able to spend time with your husband
Oh,
and
he's
those
at
things.
work.
Ah,
He's in his rightful place.
gotcha. Understood. So,
He's at work. So I've really never, until this very moment, I've shared bits and pieces, but just having the platform to share what my experience was, I've never done. So this is a first.
take your
Um,
time.
and so I think it's important for me to share that I grew up in a household where domestic violence took place. And, um, as a kid, you live in that situation and you're like always afraid because you don't know what's going to happen next. And so I as a child, I didn't sleep well.
Mm,
I had nightmares. I was the oldest sibling of two brothers, and my father, who was, may he rest in peace, he was an alcoholic. And I can recall several times us leaving the house and going to stay with relatives and coming back. And one of the latest episodes that stand out more than many, I can remember my mother sitting on the couch, rolling her hair, and my dad must have said something to her that she didn't like. So she kind of
mm,
got spicy with him. My mother wasn't a cusser. She
mm.
wasn't loud and vulgar. And I remember him picking her up
Oh,
and throwing her across the room. And my brothers and I jumped up. Now we're kids. I had to be about 7, if that. And my brothers are 3 years younger. And my father was 6'3".
oh,
So we attacked my father. And I remember him doing his arm because he was a big man and like threw one of my brothers off of him. And my auntie came, we left, took my mother to the hospital. And all I remember hearing is, wow, if she would have hit her head even closer, that she would have died instantly.
oh
So
man.
that was her last episode with him where we moved away. But I can remember saying to my mother, "Mom, why are you still here?" And now I know that I was the kid that asked questions that adults would ask. And
Right.
she said every time she would leave, her mother, which is my grandmother, may she rest in peace, would say, "Oh, well, that's them kids' father." And even after leaving, I remember my dad trying to get in touch with her because I was with him a weekend, which is something I didn't want to stay with them. I was angry with him.
Right.
And it created a lot of aggression in me as a kid with him. I didn't talk to him like he was my father. I was real spicy, flip mouth. I probably wasn't even 10 and said whatever I wanted to say. So he came over to where my mother was and pulled out a rifle
Jesus.
and pulled it on her because she did not answer the phone.
Jesus.
And the fear, of course. And as a child, I'm even more angry because you try to kill my mama
Mm.
in front of me.
Try to take my mom out, man.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And so even through all of that, my mother said, "That's still your father."
What?
And it's
No.
true. But I didn't I
Negative.
didn't I didn't I didn't understand, like, so, but there was never a conversation. So, as a kid you say, "I'm never going to go through that."
What the?
You always be like,
Mm-mm.
"I ain't going through, what my mama went through, I'm not going through." So
Right,
fast
right.
forward, of course, I know nothing about healthy relationships or
Right.
what they should be, what it entails, because all I saw was toxicity and hostility and then
Mm.
abuse.
Right.
So I didn't see any affection. They would dance, but it was like a show because people liked when they would dance together.
Mm.
She did not like him, but she felt trapped from what she was told until she finally left. And
Man, oh my gosh.
so, we moved to the west side. And I'm an east sider, but we moved to the west side. I mean, no
Right.
conversation, no nothing. It's just we starting over. And
Right.
so dating guys or whatever, you really don't know what you're doing when you
Right.
come from that.
Right.
Like you just doing stuff. So I remember I had a baby at 20, my son, and me and that son's father was not together. And so this
Mm.
guy shows up at our house. So I'm 20. My son is young. And I
Right.
look at him and I say, "Oh my God, he is just gorgeous." You know, I thought he was the most beautiful man I had ever seen,
Right.
like in my life. And so, uh, we started kicking it. I say kicking it because it wasn't even like dating for real. Now that I know what dating looked like, we
Right.
was just kicking it. And I would notice if he didn't know where I was at, or it would be like this tension, like
Mm.
where you at or what you doing, or
Ooh.
I'm still, because now keep in mind I'm just caught up on how fine he is.
Mm.
So
Jesus.
I'm not looking at no dot, but that speaks to where how I value me at the time.
Right.
And so this one time, um, I I went out with my girlfriends
Mm.
because now I'm
Mm-mm.
20, 21, 22. We living together.
Right.
I come home and this is so explicit, but he pulls down my underclothes to try to
Oh boy.
see if I've been somewhere to
Jesus
smell me.
Christ, man.
And now I'm fighting him off because I'm like, "Oh, you crazy? It's HELL." Like,
Man, no.
now that's but still, I'm not even conscious enough to see where this was headed, because my self-esteem probably was 6 feet under.
Ooh, Lord have mercy,
And
Jesus.
I got a baby and I'm trying to figure it out. And so looking for attention and love all in the wrong ways, because I don't even know what to look for anyway.
Right. Oh
Because
my
my
gosh.
son's father was selling dope, so he was buying me stuff. There was no like love story. It was just
Mm.
something that happened. So I'm young. So I'm getting in this relationship. So with him, I recall going to church. I didn't grow up in church. I go to church, right? Down the
Right.
street from the house. And he comes in the church looking for me. And he say, "Oh, that's why you not home. You in this nigga face
Oh
in
my
the,
God.
in the church." Now I'm sure we had a few tussles in between, but see, because I'm 5'9" and I grew up with brothers, I'm just not a pushover.
Mm-mm. You're a fighter.
I'm a fighter. So I was raised by a violent man who taught me
Mm.
how to carry a gun and to carry a weapon at all times. So I carried a weapon since the fifth grade. So any form of attack,
You were well ready to defend.
I'm ready to defend. So in this case, he had gotten in my face and I grabbed a butcher knife.
He was about to get the business.
Because in my mind, I'm coming out alive.
Hmm.
no matter what. So what I learned, so we end up in a tussle. Somebody snatched the gun, the knife. So we in a tussle, and I remember we fighting, and I take my leg and wrap around him and drag him as he's trying to drag me. And the skin, he had a carpet burn in the skin.
Ooh.
And through all of that, I had a black eye. I have been called bitches and black bitches, and excuse my language, but I have been
You're
called
good.
all of that. And my spirit was broken, but I still was with him. I was still with him. And it
Mm.
was such a stronghold of toxicity that, you hear stories of, we was like Jody and old boy on baby boy, where you
Oh
fight
yeah.
and then you have sex. So sex is
Mm.
just as crazy as to fight.
Wow. So basically, y'all tussling, and then when y'all get down to it, y'all still tussling.
We still tussling. So it was such a vicious cycle. So I had numerous episodes of fighting with him, me having a black eye, me, of course, being sore or having bruises. I'm not telling anybody. And one reason, um, my brothers were thugs. So I knew if I told them,
Oh, it
they
was
would kill
on.
him. They would kill him. And so I'm the oldest. So I was protective of them.
Damn. If you would have told him, they would have put his ass under.
Right. And so I didn't tell anybody. This went on for about 2 years. The last episode of it, I knew I had to go. I knew
Mm.
I had to go. I didn't know how. Um, so I knew I just had to leave and leave everything behind because it was the ending of it was not going to be good. And
Hmm.
I think I became homicidal.
Woo.
And this is real talk because I'm like, I'm not going out. So somebody
Not
is, and
like that anyway.
it ain't gonna be me. So because I grew up in that, all I knew was survive by any
Fighting.
means necessary. You walk up
Even,
on me, I'm swinging. So if that meant
even
we
for
had to
you.
fight, that's what we were doing. But there were times he would swing, it was just, oh my God. So, and here's the even crazier thing. I had just started the School of Social Work. And
Wow.
so, how am I supposed to help? And I'm caught up.
Exactly.
So one day I said, I gotta leave. And we was into it. We was into it because he had came to the church again looking for me in the church. So I'm like, now this is you really crazy. And I'm crazy because I'm still here.
You on some BS, dude?
And so I knew then I gotta leave and I gotta leave everything I have behind.
Right.
So I'm running out the door. He coming behind me. We tussling and da da da. I was living on the east side. I had a '79 Thunderbird, and my mind
Ooh.
said he is gonna die today. Go to laugh. I know. He said. I said he dying today, not me.
Not me.
So he running, bitch, da, 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 da. He like
Oh,
crazy. It was three guys on the block that grabbed him and they couldn't even hold him back from coming after me.
mm.
So I got in my white '79 Thunderbird. I said, this Negro
It's
is
been a
about to
guy.
die because I'm not going to just hit him. I am going to run him over and keep going. I mean, I
Put,
had just,
put him out his misery.
but I had lost it. For me to
Mm.
think that the only way I was getting out of there was to run him over, but I was afraid because three guys couldn't hold him back. So I felt like if I don't he gonna kill me if I don't kill him.
Exactly.
So I take my car and I press it down all the way to the floor.
Foot on boy.
Foot on the gas. Like they say, boots on the floor, foot on the gas.
Mm.
Cause I'm about to get him. And I got stuck in some ice.
He got saved by some ice.
He jumped in the car with me. So
Oh.
I said, okay. He was like, let's go to the show. I love you. I love you. Let's go to the, he was like, let's go out. He was coming up with stuff. And so I was
Mm.
like, let me get to my mama house. So I'm driving and I'm agreeing with him. Okay, this is what we about to do. And I drive to my mama house and I jump out the car. I jump out the car, pull up in the
Who?
driveway, and I jumped out the car. And he was like, "You playing?" But he only could go so far because my brothers was there.
He got stopped in his tracks.
So I never went back. But after that, he stalked me. He would call my job and say, "Bitch,
Oh
I'ma
my God.
kill you if I see you with another nigga." He would be outside of my house calling my name, threatening my girlfriend who lived downstairs. I mean, so I had to get walk to my car every day. The
Head on
police,
swivel.
the PPO stuff, that don't work. Cause don't
Mm-mm.
nobody care about a PPO when they trying to get at you.
Right. Nope. They do not.
And what ended up happening, my brother got involved. And that wasn't good because my brother ended up cracking him in the head with a rifle. And then he began to bleed and pass out. Now my brother is like, oh my God, it was just crazy. But it took about 6 months for it to just fizzle out and me tell, his mom, and because I knew his family, I just
Right.
had kept it a secret. So I finally told everyone. And when I got to my mother's house, um, that was it.
Last
Um,
straw.
but what it did to me was make me very defensive, um, aggressive, relationships. I think one of the guys I dated was so nice, but I gave him hell, like pure hell. Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, because the tone of a man's voice would trigger me to believe that a fight was about to happen
Right.
because that's all I knew, that's all I saw. And so what that did do is when I came to myself, I said, what would have happened to your son if you would have ran this man over? And I said to myself, I need Jesus. I
Man,
need
Lord, man.
Jesus Christ in my life. And that was the beginning of my relationship with God. I got baptized soon after, and I had a job as a social worker with no degree. I got hired. And the people I would meet, our stories were identical. I was
Mm.
just on the other side of the desk. And I knew it had to be God's grace because I was crazy. Like, I'm gonna run you over. I'm carrying butcher knives. I'm carrying pipes, guns. Like,
Everything.
I'm ready for the fight.
Thinking about that, but thinking about that now, thinking about it from then as opposed to now. Now, the one thing that I noticed that I won't say from my experience with it is that your experiences with intimacy change. How you view intimacy or how you view physical relationships with people. Did that change it? Did that
Oh,
change?
yeah. I mean, I'm laughing now because what was intimacy then for me? It wasn't.
Right.
It was a game. It was playing. Or it was more or less.
a
If I can
suggestion.
be completely honest, golly, I can't believe I'm about to say this on the thing.
Go
It
ahead.
was like an out of body experience. Like I'm there,
Oh.
but my mind ain't. Like I don't really care about pleasing you or anything. You know what
Mm.
I mean? It's just an activity.
An
So
extracurricular activity that I don't want to participate in right now.
I'm here, but I'm
I ain't here.
here, and that's a different type of upbringing when you don't see it. And then because here's the thing, I'm her only daughter,
Mm.
and she's telling me everything about a man about what he's not. So she's not giving me any love story. She's saying a man ain't this, he'll screw anything, he'll this, he'll that, keep you another one on the side because that one gonna hurt you. If he hurt you, you'll have somebody else to. So I wasn't given a
She giving you
story
negative
of
connotations of it.
it, and it was all out of her pain. And so, of the ministry or the intimacy or any of that, I mean, who was exploring that? It wasn't me. And so I did not have the level of respect for men.
Mm.
Um, because for what? If I could witness my own father throw my mother across the room,
Who's to say that won't happen to me?
who's to say? And so I'm gonna be on guard so that it don't.
Mm.
And as a matter of fact, I'm not gonna have no man that can't do what I need him to do.
Defensive. I mean, you mentioned it defensive.
Defensive,
Much more bossy.
more bossy, more confrontational, more what you ain't gonna do. My mother was quiet, and I used to be like, "Mom, you don't speak up." Like I used to be mad at her. Like, defend your life. And so I went over the top with it.
And that's all because of what you witnessed.
It's
And
what I witnessed, what I saw her go through. Um, and then for her as my mother, she got out of one situation. The next situation wasn't abusive physically, but emotionally it was.
see, you walk into one thing and then you leave
Get
one
out
thing
the
only
get out
walk into something else.
Yeah. So not ever even knowing anything solid.
Mm.
Everything was just about this is just what you do, or if it wasn't about me or what I thought or needed, or then
Right.
it don't matter really. Or it
So
was
it was,
survival.
yeah, and just listening to you saying your mother was the silent sufferer. So she put I look at it as like a backwards form of altruism because it was more about her about you and the kids and the family than it was about her own self-preservation.
Yep.
And that can and because you've experienced it, that can be a double-edged sword.
It was. And so here I'm seeing this. Well, that's not about to be me. So
Exactly.
and this is, but here's another thing though. I loved my father. May he
Right.
rest in peace. May my mother rest in peace. But I act more like him than her.
Wow. And
So,
again, that's because of what you witnessed and what you experienced.
but here's the thing. So I'm seeing him in action, and then I'm hearing my mother say, "You just like your daddy."
Wow.
You get me? You just like your daddy,
Wow.
or you talk just like your. So, what did that mean? Really, I didn't pay it any attention until I became an adult, a full-fledged adult, where you start to do self-reflection and you start
Mm.
to put pieces together. And I said, I am like him.
See, and you witnessed that because now you're more of your aggressor than, and I get that because man, Jesus,
I was more like him than her. Because in my mind, I'm not about to be no victim.
right,
But I was. But in my mind at the time, because I'm fighting you back,
I ain't no
I'm,
victim.
I ain't no victim.
I'm throwing the same
I ain't
punches
no
you
gun.
throwing.
Yeah, you blowing one, I'm blowing one.
Right.
Like we
Right.
getting it in. But the
Yep.
truth is, I was a victim, and and I victimized as well.
Hmm. And I think when you looking back on it, I look back at my own experience, but also just listening to yours. There's a similarity, but there's also a difference. I know
Hmm.
for me, after being in that situation, my view towards physical relationship and women were straight skewed, and I became more quiet, more less became more quiet and less aggressive, just because I didn't just you didn't because I didn't want to put myself in that instance. Was there ever
Right.
a time where you didn't want to where you didn't want to put yourself out there in that instance, and or where you saw men as, I mean, I know you mentioned you said you saw men as a means to an end at this point,
Oh yeah.
but was there ever a time where you thought about it and was like, maybe I shouldn't be like that?
No.
Never,
No.
never considered it.
Never considered it until years later, until I got married the first time. And even in that, emotional abuse was present.
Mm,
And but at that time I had, began a transformation and
mm,
understanding that the things that I experienced and the things that I witnessed was not who I supposed that didn't mean I had to repeat that cycle.
right,
Nor, what I went through doesn't mean that's who I am. And who did God want me to be? And so
right,
learning his love language for me, but it was still some aggression because when you, as a woman, and you grow up in that environment, either even out, you either, if a father is an alcoholic, you end up marrying an alcoholic or dating alcoholic,
right.
dating, so it was always these extra things or men who were not emotionally available, but neither was
Mm,
I, not in a healthy way.
mm.
So you attract, people say you attract what you are, but you can't attract what you can't see or what you don't
Exactly,
know about.
exactly, exactly. And man, it's- what? So I think what was it that changed besides? Because I know you said you were while you were going through all this, you were becoming a licensed social worker at that point, and you were hearing stories, but also living the same stories that you were hearing. What about listening to those stories, and from then to now, what do you see from the aspect of from your experience then to listening to these stories now? Do you think, when you listen to them, do they mirror your experience? Are there any deviations from it, or how do you approach it when you hear those stories?
Well, now because I'm a healed woman of God, what I do understand is this: my prayer used to be, God, even if not being in church, I would pray, if it's teach me my lesson from this, and if it's to help somebody else, I can accept it.
Right.
And so what I do know is the afflictions of the righteous availeth much,
Mm-hmm.
and he will deliver you out of all of them.
Right.
And so now hearing stories, I feel blessed to know that I'm not just a survivor, but I God has blessed me to thrive. And every horror story that I lived through, he's given me wisdom. And so I'm able to hear it and not be triggered about my own stuff. And not triggered in a sense of like, oh my God, but wow, God, I'm so grateful that my experience now is going to help so many other people. And my prayer was, because I was just starting the School of Social Work. So the relationship had been ended by the time I graduated and all of
Right.
those things. But my prayer was, God, do not let me sit before anyone unhealed or giving them advice or guidance in something that I still suffer with.
Right. How difficult was that transition from that from being a saved one from being a saved woman to from being that person who was holding on to all that hurt and all that pain, but also still in a defensive and aggressive manner? How difficult was that transition from that aspect of you to
Mhm.
the person that we see today?
Very difficult because it was a journey of self discovery, restoration, and self acceptance, and looking at who I've become and knowing that God loves me so much that He's allowed me to be who I am today. And it didn't come without pain, it was supposed to be painful. My ministry meets people where they are because I've been there,
Mm,
and other areas of my life that he had that's been very painful, that he's allowed me to walk through and get the wisdom from it, and not perfection but wisdom. And so it's just been a journey, ongoing, of healing. That's why I talk about healing so much, because you just don't
mhm.
get to this place like, okay, now I'm just from head to toe I'm healed. But it was accepting my story. It was learning how to love myself for real, not just, you know, I love God because He's the head of my life. No, that's, I call it church critics.
Mm.
But learning to love myself for real, that was painful because it's hard when you don't love yourself, and then you suffer with rejection because you feel
Man.
like you don't fit in, and then
Mhm.
on top of it, in my family, I was the only dark skinned person, the tallest. So I had all of these things that I was fighting with, that I felt society did not receive me anywhere,
Right.
church, my family, anywhere.
You feel
So I
like you weren't
felt
accepted nowhere.
nowhere. But God, so how did I get to a place where I knew He loved me, and that when I say I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, I mean it,
Ooh.
because I got the scars, but God has turned them into stars. And I know that
Woohoo.
for a fact because I'm not a fake person. I raise my hand in a heartbeat, like, oh, because I went through such and such and such, because it is what it is. And so it's been a lifelong journey. I remember when I'll be 58 this year, but I
Man.
remember when I was turning 50. I'm divorced after 15 years of marriage. I'm healing from emotional abuse, not just looking at myself as the victim, but what did I do to myself?
Mm, mm,
How
mm, mm.
how did how did I carry so much for so long? Um, I had to take responsibility for my healing. That's nobody else's job.
Ooh.
So I don't
Mm.
care who did what, who said what, who didn't like me, who I fought. That was my responsibility. And I went on a journey like no other.
People don't like people. I mean, people. I say people want to get to the end of the end of the journey automatically, but don't want to actually take the journey.
Don't want to, and because it hurts. It hurts
It's
to
supposed to.
reflect. Like, okay, why was my parents this way? Both
Hmm.
my parents were dead before I even was 40.
Right.
Because on top of the abuse, it was drug addiction.
Right. Oh man.
So it was drug addiction, abuse, fights. It was just
Everything on top of everything.
My father died at 41 from cirrhosis of the liver. So now he's dead and I still have this cuz I'm only 18 when he died.
You still holding it.
I don't know nothing else cuz who do I have?
Nobody. Nobody to
Nobody.
show you differently. Nobody
You
to
told me
teach you
different.
differently.
And that's why I have to give a shout out to Bishop Edgar Van
Mm.
because I started going to Second Ebenezer at 24 years old. And when I heard him say this was another part of the trajectory changing. When he said, "Greater is he that is in me than
Mm.
he that is in the world," a
Mm.
light bulb went off. And I joined Second Ebenezer, and I've been there ever since.
Ain't look back.
Ain't looked back. And so it was a painful journey because we all just want to be loved.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about what love really was. So I, even in being in church, now this is what people won't say. I still didn't know what his love was.
Exactly.
I knew he loved me because that's what everybody say. God is love.
Right.
You hear me?
Yep. Oh yeah. But then you
but
don't. Ooh. You
but
say, but you don't know what
then
that means. What that means for you.
for me, but when I started saying, God, make me the woman you want me to be. It was
Man.
humbling. It was looking at things about me that needed to go, that I needed to change, which was my responsibility.
Right.
And during that particular journey, I wasn't counseling nobody. I wasn't giving out speeches on nothing
Mm.
because I needed to make it about me. And so that's where, and it's layers to this. It's not just
Ooh.
one hit and fix, it's
Right.
layers to to accepting his love and allowing the word of God to transform your life.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh my gosh. That's
Because I looked at men as opportunities or, you know, I ain't paying this bill if I got a man. Is you crazy? You
targets
know,
of
like
opportunity.
target of opportunities. So I don't even know if I really loved for real.
You probably did and you probably didn't, but more
I
but I think
mean,
it was but
who
more probably more in your defense and your defensiveness. It was more or less of kind of a play along to get along type thing,
play
perhaps.
along to get along. Like do what you got to do to live, to
Yep.
survive. And so, um, I remember turning 50 and I was still in pain regarding my divorce. I had gotten divorced at 45. Um, and I said, I want to, I got to be free. And all types of stuff start breaking loose.
I need
And
I need to be gone.
I need to just be free. So you have to believe in what you tell other people. So I got me a therapist.
Exactly.
I got me a therapist, um, Dr. Nyria Harrington.
Even therapists need therapists, y'all.
Every therapist need one, so don't even be acting like you don't. Every minister needs somebody to minister to them, and every pastor needs a pastor. Because this is what I heard today, and
Say
this was
that
by
again.
Darius Daniels. He said he had the spiritual disciplines on deck. So he knew I
Right.
gotta pray, I gotta this. But when he had an anxiety attack, he realized he had not
Hmm.
addressed his personal affliction.
Hey sis, how were you?
So he had to get help for his personal.
Mm.
And a lot of times we in church jumping and shouting, but suffering in silence. We really sick and diseased on the inside. Even
Mm.
though Christ has risen, we still dead on the inside. And
Lord have
and
mercy.
I had to choose me. That's what birthed that ministry. I choose me. That's what birthed that. And what did
Right.
that look like? And that was not a joyride at all.
That
At
was that
all.
was that was a hard ride.
It was a hard ride. It was a painful ride. It was I had to cry.
Whew.
I had to
Lord.
just cry. I had to crawl in the prayer closet for real.
Mm.
Not for play, like, oh, I got this prayer closet. No, I had to crawl in it and roll around in it and say, God, I don't even know what to say to you. Matter of
And
fact, I'm so mad. I don't want to say nothing to you
right now.
right now. Cause I mean, what? You gonna do what you want to do. That was my attitude.
I don't want to say nothing. I don't know if I should say anything, and if I say something, it's probably gonna sound real aggressive and real angry. So let me just be quiet and just
Let me be quiet
and let these tears
and
go.
let the tears fall. Let the whatever this weight is, I just got to turn it over to you.
Yeah.
And when you learn how to change your behavior based on the word of God, and you serious about it and you authentic
Mhm.
about it, because what you know is you can't do it yourself.
Exactly.
I don't have the power to fight my own flesh.
Nope.
And when I got in that car and I was gonna run old boy down, the adrenaline I had to say, girl, you are crazy too. Not just him.
You throw it off just like he.
I'm sick too. And that's what we don't want to say.
I, the funny thing about it is, and I'm most definitely resonating with you on that particular phrase right there. I'm throwing if I'm throwing off just like this person that I'm about to do harm to, that's an issue.
Listen. So what I'm saying is we all have been victims of something,
Yup.
but we can't live in victimization.
No. No.
Yes, it happened. Yes, I fought. Yes, I had a black eye. Yes, I had a busted lip. Yes, I had butcher knives and stuff. Yes, I was going to run him over with my car because my mind said, I don't know how to get out of this. He got to die because I'm not going to die.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Yep.
There was nobody to tell me anything. There was nothing. It was nobody to say, come over here, come do this, come sit with me, sis. It was nothing.
You know what? And the one I love that you said that, and also you mentioned that the living in victimization. How can we teach, and how can we teach the one people that are going there? How can we show or teach the ones that are the people, the ones that were still going through it, whether it was loved ones, whether it was friends, or whether it was just a complete stranger? How can we as your counselor, you talk to these people, you talk to these people on a daily basis. I'm a male advocate, and I try to talk to both men and women, but primarily men. How can we show these PG people to come out of the victimization attitude and then and come and emerge in strength?
Well, they got to want to. Because here's
Mm,
the thing, and this is, I listen, I have been a mental health professional 3 decades plus.
that's a long time.
It's a long time. And one of the hardest realizations is that everybody don't want help.
Ooh.
Everybody don't want change. You can't make a person do what they don't want to do.
Mm,
You can give them all of the reasons why they should change something, but if that's not what they're ready to face, they won't face
mm.
it.
So we
And
can
so
offer.
even in a
Mhm.
therapeutic process, which I don't provide therapy on a full-time basis, but
Right.
even there, my question to them is, why are you here? What
Ah.
is what is it that you want to see happen? Not what I you want me to make happen for you. What do you want? And if you don't really know, nothing will happen.
Wow. See.
And this is after years of coming to that realization. I worked in addiction. I worked in mental health crisis. I've worked with homeless population. I've worked with men in prison. I've done it all. And it's the same premise. If a
Mm,
person is not ready to change, they will not. You can plant the seed and be okay with planting the seed.
yeah.
But we are
Yeah.
not victims, not in Christ. We are not. We have the victory. And here's the thing, do we even believe what we say
Mm.
about Christ?
That is powerful.
Do we believe it? Like, we're so emotional, and I get it. I get it. But you can't emotionalize Christ.
No, sure can't.
So, do we even believe it? And when you hit rock bottom, when you lose everything and you lose yourself and everything attached, what else? I mean, God, you got to do this.
You you gonna have to. You gonna have to because
I
you
had
gonna
to
have to because I
leave.
can't.
I had to leave that place. That was my place.
Right.
But that ain't the first time I had to do it. I have done it 2 or 3 times. Starting over, starting over, starting over. Until you surrender. Like, hey, I'm messing this stuff up.
Not that half surrender, that complete.
I have God, you know what, God, and this is how I talk to God. I ain't deep and wonderful like that.
Right.
I ain't gotta, speak in 30,000. Although speaking in the holy language is direct connection. I'm not minimizing that. But sometimes it's like, God, just help me. Because I don't even have the capacity. When you go that low, you don't even have the capacity to have a bunch of shananas and all of that. It's
Exactly.
God, help me, your daughter. If you love me, and that was my prayer. If you love me, God, like you say you do,
Help.
and my life ain't never been the same.
Look. It's a different view when you looking up at the bear pit and you
And
want to
when
climb.
the favorite scriptures, my first lady always talk about Romans 8:28, when all things work together,
For the
I
good.
can say all things that I've experienced has is working for my good.
Hmm. I love that. And the thing I like about it is what you're saying is that you're the one that's in the bear pit. You're asking for somebody to help you climb out of the bear pit, but honestly speaking, the power for you to climb out of the bear pit is in your hands.
It's in my hands. Who coming? Who
Nobody.
coming? I
Nobody
remember
coming.
I remember this was so vivid. So I'm divorced, I'm all of this, I'm leaving this, I'm living this single life. I'm trying to, be holy and all of this. And I was going to work and I fell outside my door. Nobody in the house. I had on my cute little heels trying to be cute and fell. And I
Mm,
just sat there and I heard the Holy Spirit say, "Get up, because who's coming to your rescue?
nobody.
Nobody."
And to me that's growth. Realizing that you in this bear pit by yourself and ain't nobody finna lend you a hand to pull you out of it. You got to claw your way out of it. You got to claw your way out of it.
I got a claw. And here's the thing: I already grew up, and even though I shared the trauma of how I grew up, the oxymoron is my father would sit me down and tell me, "You're not average. Don't ever be average. Don't
Hmm.
be intimidated by nobody. Anybody can make a C. Don't get no C's, and be what the world will always need." That was
Exactly.
his message to me. My mother, be the best that you can. My father would call me Cleopatra Jones, all this stuff. But it was in the midst of so much trauma,
Mm.
it was hard to receive.
The positive stuff was so hard to receive because all the trauma and all the negativity
All
was
of the
around.
other drama. And so it has been a journey of self discovery, a journey of recalibration, a journey of transforming your thoughts,
Mm,
a
mhm.
journey of emotional intelligence and resilience, and having a real spiritual awakening where you know that if it had not been for the Lord,
I wouldn't be here.
I wouldn't be here. And that's every day. Because in my hands, I ain't no telling what I'm gonna do. And I just accept that. But with him, all things are possible.
Yep. In your hands and my and I get it. In my hands, everything going to hell in a handbasket.
Listen, because the spirit, we want to do what we want to do.
Hmm. And that's the
But
battle.
God, because of who you are, not because of what you've done, but because of who you are and who you've been to me.
Yes, go. Yes, Lord.
So
Because of who you are to me,
you
I'm able to
you
do
you
what I
had a
do.
purpose. You had to have had one
Hmm.
because I'm here.
I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still
I'm still
thriving.
standing. What's that? On Antoine Fisher. He
Yeah,
said, "I'm still here. You tried to hurt me, but I'm still here." And then my girl in color purple. I might be black. I might even be ugly, but I'm still here.
man. Those two phrases, boy. I don't care about nothing else. God, because of who you are to me, I am still
I am
here.
here with a purpose and I know it. I'm clear on the call. And the reason I'm clear because I have accepted the dark side of my life.
No, oh gosh.
You can't embarrass me.
That Dr. See that's gonna be a whole nother episode of conversation. God,
You
please.
can't embarrass me. Everything
Mm-mm.
I done been through,
No, ma'am, no, sir. I'm you
you can't. What you gonna say?
you can't throw none of that in my face.
None of it. I tell my own story.
And I ain't
But it's
embarrassed to
for
talk
his
about it.
glory. It's for his. I'm here tonight because so many women suffer. So many women are dying. So
Mm,
many are in abusive relationships, and they can be free. You just have to take the step. It's not going to be convenient. It's not going to be easy, but it's worth it. Your life is worth it because the Bible says it's a scripture that says, after this,
mm,
how he will restore your life. After these suffer a little while. See, it's one thing to suffer because of some foolishness,
right,
but it's another if I'm suffering because I am following my purpose and the call that he has placed in my life.
right.
And he
That is
will
so
come
powerful.
rescue you.
That is so powerful.
Like he rescued me when I tried to run that man over and I got stuck in that snow. That was him rescuing me.
That's it. Do me a favor. Talk to those that are in these relationships. I know you started it you started it, but talk to these people, talk to these women and these men in these types of relationships. Let them let them know that there's an escape.
There's
Talk to them.
there's an escape, but here's the part: you deserve to live. um, you deserve to live. So even if it means starting over, if it means not having anything, those are material things. That whole power and control cycle of being abused and being apologized to and then being afraid that you can't take care of yourself. Yes, you can, because when
Mm,
you make the move, all of the resources will come. Even for men who are in these situations or feel rejected by women because they want to move forward. Rejection is not anything against who you are as a person. You
Mm,
everyone can change their mind in any situation, and it should not be taken personally. But
right.
when you are being abused, it's nothing in that relationship that's healthy. It's nothing in that relationship that will change. And so you
Mm,
need to think about your life, the life of your children, and that you are worth it. There are resources, there are shelters. Let somebody know if you are being victimized or abused. Let someone know that you can trust so that they can help you. It's worth it. It may seem inconvenient, it may seem difficult, you may be afraid, and that's okay. That's okay. All of that is valid. You can be afraid, but you need to leave the situation so that you can live. Um,
mm,
and pray. Prayer changes things. I know that's cliche, but it does, because it gives you more strength and courage. It gives you more power. So there's
right.
power in prayer. And know that your life is worth it. Know that you are valuable, knowing that God really does love you. And don't beat yourself up. Don't feel guilty. Don't be embarrassed. Life
Mm,
happens. And sometimes we make choices that we didn't expect to change or to transform into such a horrific experience. But
that's
that
right.
doesn't mean you can't live again. My favorite scripture that wakes me out of a slump is, I shall not die, but live and declare the works of the Lord. And if you are alive, then that means there's more to life for you. There's a
Mhm.
difference between living or life has you.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh.
So live. You deserve to live. And if you need any assistance, my number can be given out. If you need some guidance, some direction, we're available to give you that.
Man. Dr. C, as always, as always, number one, a powerful testimony, very
Thank you.
powerful testimony. But also it's it's a testimony that speaks from the negativity and the stigma, but also the trauma that comes from being from witnessing that, but then also but also being victimized not once, not twice, but thrice.
In different ways.
Yeah, in different
Yeah.
ways, but then coming to the having that talk with God, and then also realizing that the same, just echoing the same things you just mentioned. You're worth it. You're worth living. Your life is worth living. You deserve to live, and then also from from the last thing, and this is basically just the your podcast. Finally, you chose you above everybody, above the pain, the suffering, and you said, "Nah, I'm gonna rise above this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get to the place I need to be."
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you got there, you survived, and you're a survivor, and you're also a thriver.
Amen.
Not there is, and I talked about this a while back. People, you don't just survive a traumatic experience, not like that. You also have to learn how to thrive.
Yes.
Your testimony, your story. I've number one. I am taken aback, but I'm taken aback by it, but I'm also very much now informed, because again, you have no idea what someone's hiding, as far as their pain, as far as
Mm-hmm.
what they go through. You have no idea. You have no earthly idea of that. But when you volunteer to tell your story, number one, I didn't think it was going to come in a magnitude like that.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
also from talking about it, but then also coming from the negative to the positive side, your story is a story of resilience, but also strength, but also hope, and also just faith in believing that God will take you to will take you to that place, take you to their peaceful place. So first and foremost, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for just being brave and being bold to do this. And you honor me with your presence, but you honor me even more with your story.
Thank you.
I am I am proud to call you friend, but I'm even more proud to call you a sister. And
Thank you.
for me, I know for me to call folks sister or brother or a thing like that, it's it's something that someone has to earn from me. But
Absolutely. I understand.
but you earned that way before then. Way before then. This just now just it makes that part of it even more profound.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, look, reintroducing to some and then introducing to others. We call her, those that know her call her Dr. C. For those that don't know her, she is known as Dr. Crystal L. Fenderson. She is a counselor. She is a dynamic woman of God. She is a minister. She is a powerful podcaster, and she is someone that I consider to be she is my sister, and I call her, and she is also I can call her my friend. Um, does your podcast? When does your podcast air?
It's every fourth Sunday evening. I'm praying to increase that. Um, and so yes, it's every fourth Sunday evening. Our last subject was relationship addiction. Um,
Ooh, I would have wanted to be a fly on the wall for that one.
Thank you, Charlisa Sims, for listening. Like I said, I've shared bits and pieces, but I've never just, okay, let's make this story about me today. I'm usually interviewing other people and sharing little pieces about what I may have experienced. So I appreciate this platform. This gives me even more courage and more confidence about my calling and purpose and what God has really called me to do.
Look, man, I appreciate you. Just in case you didn't hear it the first time, check out Finally I Choose Me every fourth Sunday. And now, are you still on the Critical Conversations Network?
I am.
Yep. And my sis LHG, please do me a favor, check out the Critical Conversations Network. My sis LHG, her and Dr. C have been putting down some wonderful conversations. So do me a solid and check them out. They've been putting down some wonderful conversations. These are not just random conversations. These conversations that make you think and make you reconsider a lot of things. So once again, Dr. C, I appreciate you so very much for being here.
Likewise. Thank you again for
And
taking time out to even talk about this subject.
yes, ma'am.
We have to do it, and it's our responsibility because if we don't, who will?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And just to let you guys know for what I have going on, I've been doing a whole lot of audio episodes, so check those audio episodes out on Spotify. A lot of audio episodes I've been doing has been a lot of pop culture. So I've been digging deep into these pop culture universes and doing deep dives into them. So check those out on Spotify. The next time you guys will see me may either be tomorrow or may either be next week, because I actually want to talk about my own story, my own domestic violence story, because I think it's important. I think it's important to from the also talk about that, women go through this a lot more than men, but men don't talk a lot about it. Men don't talk about it at all, and if they do, it's not very often. And I'll say that my story is not unique, but probably more relatable to some men and women than you think. So I'm gonna talk more about my story. Yeah, I've talked about it before, but I didn't really get into depth into it. So I'm gonna get more in depth about it and talk about it. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, once again, check out Finally I Choose Me on the Critical Conversation Network every fourth Sunday. It's at 7 p.m. still, correct?
Yes.
Every fourth Sunday at 7 p.m. on the Critical Conversations Network.
And then I'm launching, I have the healing circle, but I'm
Mhm.
launching it in a new way coming in January. in the Healing Circle will be a program, a 12-month program that people have to
Ooh.
enroll in and complete to get to their next level of evolution.
Mm.
So I have that as well coming.
Ooh. So keep your eyes in. So everybody, keep your
Mhm.
eyes and ears open for the Healing Circle coming soon. And if you are interested in want to become a part of that, by all means, contact. Give a contact to Dr. C, and she will most definitely get back with you and talk about it in depth. Once
Yes.
again, Dr. C, I appreciate you so very much for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Have
Mhm.
you have sparked even more intense flame in me as a male advocate. I know there are not a lot of us in this particular space, but you've sparked a even brighter flame in me to want to be more vocal about not only about my own story, but be out in these communities and talk to these guys, talk to these men and women about what they're going through, and offer resources. So thank you for
Right.
that.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to end this episode of Survivor
All
Stories.
right.
But trust me, we got more Survivor Stories coming. Keep your eyes and ears on the ground for that. And on that note, one thing I always say before we end these conversations: number one, take care of each other. Number two, be kind to each other. Number
Yes,
three, we know that it's a very crazy ass world out here.
it
So
is.
please do me a favor, be safe out here.
Yes.
We love y'all. Y'all take care, and we're gonna see y'all in the next one.
All righty. Have a good night.
You too.